Alright, week 10 spring anime. We continue these stories. I'm actually feeling for a lot of these characters. There's a lot of like drama and, well written moments between everyone. So, yeah, another emotional week as we'll get into it. So, starting off with Odd Taxi episode 10. We see Otokawa. He's trying to like make some 500 IQ plan to like steal the money or counter steal the money and like maybe become the good guy fighting these yakuza. It's all converging upon that stealing that 1 billion yen from Imai when he's going to take it from his lottery. And then Otokawa's trying to like save him and then like get everyone arrested. Dobu, Yano, and all the other like evil people. So he starts off with talking to the Mystery Kiss manager. He's driving him in his taxi. And then the reason why is because like I know everything you're doing, all your Badger games, everything with the Mystery Kiss, and then you working with Yakuza to get money. So then, yeah, Otokawa doesn't like that. His friend Kakihana was involved with that, like, Tinder catfishing. So he, like, kind of blackmails the Mystery Kiss manager and says, oh, your only choice is to follow me. If you listen to me, then your idol group will be saved. But if not, then, like, everyone's going to jail. So then that dude, he's weighing his options. Should he betray his boss? Should he work with Otokawa? And then he realizes that, nah, I ain't working with Otokawa. So he takes off his belt and chokes him. Their taxi is kind of like in the middle of this abandoned construction field, and yeah, Otokawa's about to get choked out. But before he dies, who rescues him? That alpaca girl, Miho. She's out here, like, comes out of nowhere, throws a rock in the window, and just, like, challenges the Mystery Kiss manager to fight. So then she's, like, doing her Capoeira. Yo, don't underestimate her, because we thought that, like, move, that was, like, kind of like a joke line they said earlier, that she knows how to defend herself. Well, she actually does know, so she gives him the drop toe hold, and then jump kicks him in the face. So yeah, don't mess with that Capoeira. It looks like some cool dancing, but you can also get knocked the fuck out. So yeah, they kind of subdue him, and then he apologizes for trying to kill Otokawa, and then yeah, he realizes that yeah, he should have worked with Otokawa, since he has like this big kind of syndicate behind him. Otokawa's like pretty scary the way he thinks, and then like is trying to help people, so he's kind of like a hero. But yeah, just like Miho, like kicking this dude in the face, that was like so cool. She gets a lot of waifu points over there. But yeah, they also talk about Dobu. Him and Otokawa like plan out their plan. So we see Dobu's plan where they're gonna have 10 briefcases of money. Each has like 100 million yen. And then they're gonna check the first briefcase and then it's alright. And then they won't bother to check all other 9 briefcases. Because then all 9 of them are gonna have fake bills. So there's only one with real bills. And then yeah, that's the thing. Then they're gonna get a police call from them, so they're gonna be like held up by the police. And then Dobu's gonna sneak in and steal that briefcase. And then he's also gonna get the real money from the bank as well. So yeah, that's Dobu's plan. Give them fake money and then stick them up, and then take their 100 million real money they have too. So he has the whole billion himself. So yeah, Otokawa agrees to this. We see like him and Dobu. Their plan is called Odd Taxi. It's kind of cute because it's like a combination of their names, Otokawa Dobu Taxi. So, name drop, the whole title right here. It's pretty creative because Odd Taxi could be just like, oh, there's some weird shit happening with this taxi, but it's also the name of their robbery plan. So yeah, Dobu seems to be like pretty funny and cool. Like obviously he's some evil gangster too, but he's like kind of like those anti-hero type of gangsters. And then yeah, Otokawa's about to betray him anyway. So yeah, that's cool. We also see that Yano, they find the whereabouts of the skunk dude. He like changed his address and everything, and then edited the lottery ticket, but they kind of track him down anyway. He has like this polar bear gangster with him who's like really good at internet stalking. He can just like detect your address through like video sounds and stuff. So he's like doing some CIA level shit, tracking down the lottery ticket winner. So yeah, the plan is still going on. But yeah, since Otokawa has an inside man with Yano's crew, he's basically gonna make it so they're gonna like have a huge commotion at the bank. They're gonna complain about the counterfeit bills, and then that's when the police comes in, and then everyone's pretty much gonna get arrested, and then maybe everyone will live happily ever after that. But yeah, I'm glad to see all these strings falling together. There's still some stuff going on, like the dude that wants to kill Otokawa for destroying his gacha game, as well as the dead girl that was found in the ocean. She's a black cat from Otokawa's point of view. And then the news says she's from the Mystery Kiss idol group. But Otokawa says, no, that's wrong. She's someone else. So there's like 2 black cats in this story. One is the black cat from the idol group, and one is the black cat that was missing in the beginning. That was a daughter of some big boss. So maybe they got mixed up. But yeah, still like more story happening. Very cool story so far, and then I love the interactions with all of these characters. Miho with the drop kick, Dobu with his like comedy, his funny plan, Yano just rapping, and then Otakawa like pulling all the strings. So yeah, we'll see where everything goes. Alright, so for 2 Year Eternity, episode 9. Cool episode. We see kind of Fushi, Rin, and Gugu all talking about their life and then like learning more about each other. I just love the character development for like every single like side character we get. Just like makes them feel real, and then we get like a lot of emotion if stuff happens to them in the future. So yeah, that's cool. Basically, the main thing here is we get like Gugu's kind of a backstory on how he grew up. So he lived with a cool family. He had like a place to sleep. He would live with his brother, and they had like good food every day. And then yeah, they were just working. The thing is, one day his family kind of abandoned him and his brother. And then that's the reason. They didn't really abandon him, but him and his brother weren't part of the family. They were just like kind of workers, servants. They weren't really like in a bad situation, but basically the only family that Gugu knew basically abandoned him. So it was just him and his brother. So yeah, we kind of get more about him. He's kind of just like living to survive, to work. After that, Rin shows up. She follows her dog, and then she sees Gugu and Fushi. So then Gugu, he doesn't have his mask, so he doesn't want to show Rin his monster face. So yeah, Fushi runs away to go find it. So it's just Gugu and Rin talking to each other. And yeah, Rin kind of wants to see Gugu's face. She's like, oh, let me see it. She's like pulling him. He's hiding like behind this tree. But yeah, he's still hiding his face because he feels shame. Rin kind of tells her about her family, how like her family like gave her a hard time. They called her idiots, a drama queen. So yeah, Rin doesn't like how her family are kind of like fake to her. And then it's kind of like she never really had freedom with them. It's kind of like spoiled by her because like she had a rich family. Like she could have everything she ever wanted, even though they didn't really love you too much. And then they also seemed to love her too. Like they didn't really hate her. They didn't abandon her or abuse her. So yeah, Rin's just like running away from home. And then Gugu calls her out on it, but because like he's like, oh, you're an idiot. Your family loves you. You're spoiled. And then she's like, yo, you're just like my parents. And then she shows them how like she has this scar on her arm. It's like this tiny scar from when Gugu pushed her. She said her family didn't care that some dude pushed her. They only cared that, they thought the dad was being targeted. So yeah, in Rin's point of view, they don't really care about her. And then they only care about like their family status. But yeah, it kind of shows her motivation, why she ran away from home. She just wants like a kind of a little bit more freedom, I guess. It's kind of ironic because Gugu just like his whole face got distorted because of that same accident. And then Rin didn't know that Gugu saved her life, so he's kind of holding that in. So I wonder when he's going to reveal that, because, that's like a big story point. But yeah, besides that, like, their friendship kind of like gets stronger, so yeah, cute development between Rin and Gugu. But then yeah, in the end, he still doesn't want to show his face to her. So she gives him a mask, so she has like this mask that she was wearing. It's like basically a pot with eyelids on it. So then yeah, he gets a new mask. And then they go out of the campsite. They go back to the old man. But then while they're walking in the woods, they get stopped by this servant of Rin's family. And then she wanted to bring Rin home. So then they kind of run away from her. And if Fushi kind of holds her back, he turns into March to kind of distract her. So while they're about to make their way to the house, Fushi gets attacked. They're in some forest, so apparently every forest is dangerous now because there's a chance there's like a supernatural spirit that'll steal Fushi's experiences. So yeah, Fushi straight up gets attacked. I think it steals his March form. So that's his weakest form so far, so it's not a big deal yet, but yeah, Fushi's in trouble. He's like getting attacked. And then Gugu comes in to save him. So yeah, next episode, we probably gonna get a fight with Gugu and Fushi together. But yeah, I'm excited to see what'll happen in this arc. Gugu is cool, Rin is cool. I hope no one dies. And then yeah, Fushi fights off another forest spirit. Okay, so for Vivy, Fluorite Eyes Song, episode 12. So we continue the AI war. We gotta save the Earth. So it's just Vivy and then all the Toke terrorists. Vivy realizes from the AI that they think that humans are their parents. They created us, but then they're dependent on us and they're also abusive. So, they've kind of ended their evolution. So the AI will become the next race. So we'll eliminate all humans and start a world with it's just only AIs. Their goal is kind of generic, wipe out all of humanity. So yeah, to stop this, they have to stop the satellites from crashing, and then they only have 12 hours to do this. We also learned that these AIs, they're from like that big radio tower archive building, so yeah, that's where they get all their goals. And they kind of edit stuff that Vivy does in her timeline to kind of like keep the course the same. So yeah, Vivy thought she was changing things, but these AIs kind of like, do their own thing to make the timeline the same as before. Also, the AIs were kind of curious of Vivy because 15 years ago, on the 85 gear mark, when Vivy made her song, she made that song of her own free will. So that was the first moment any AI like did something of their own free will. And then the AI kind of want her to be like the protector of the future. Like they want to leave the future up to her. So then yeah, after that they all rush into the archive building to stop everything, stop the satellites from crashing into the Earth. So it's like Vivy and all the Toke terrorists. So there's not really that many people left, but yeah, they just rush in the building. The thing is, there's like a lot of AI soldiers with guns that attack them. So yeah, it's like kind of like a bleak mission. Also, like when they're inside the archive building, the walls kind of close in on them. So basically, everyone dies besides Vivy and Elizabeth. Also, that girl Yui Kakitani, she also gets killed by AIs, so she also dies in some sad death scene. So a lot of death this episode. Very sad because yeah, we see like the Earth is kind of like dying. So then, while Vivy and Elizabeth they try to like go up to the top of the archive building, they get attacked by like this Matsumoto plane. So they kind of defeat it, but then Elizabeth sacrifices herself and blows herself up. So it's only Vivy now. And then while she's talking to like all these AIs trying to stop everything, the 12 hours are up. So this mission is a total failure. And now there's like a meteor shower of like a million satellites crashing onto the Earth. So it's not like one or two satellites. It's just like a whole bunch of satellites just like crashing onto every city. And then, there's just like so much death. These first 10 episodes we have trying to save the timeline, it was all for nothing. So then, what can we do now? Well, it's not really a big twist, but we realize that time travel is still a thing. And then Matsumoto is still alive, or that dude Osamu. So it's like, you can time travel again, no problem. You still have the computer there. So yeah, they do this. They upload Vivy's program onto the time machine, and they give her one more chance. And then we kind of get some backstory on like why Vivy failed her mission this time, why she can stop the satellites from crashing onto the Earth. It's because the AIs, they kind of entrusted the future to Vivy. They basically gave Vivy a shutdown program in the form of a song. And basically, if you believe in humanity, just sing the song and everything will stop. But the thing is, she couldn't sing. So like her diva personality died, and then she was just like had a whole midlife crisis and can't sing. But then the fact that they have another do-over, they'll save it next time, is basically that instead of saving Osamu, like they did earlier, just go straight to the Toke terrorists. So Osamu will die, and then Vivy will have more time to save everyone else by talking to you and Elizabeth. So yeah, no more time travel. This is the last timeline we have. And then we just fast forward to the last mission. So yeah, will Vivy save the planet this time? We'll see. This finale's really fun, like action-packed. The story kind of devolved into just like, all the AIs are trying to wipe out humanity. But we kind of knew that anyway from the beginning. There wasn't really a deeper meaning. But I guess like the main thing is like, what does singing with all your heart mean? Is she ever able to sing again? So yeah, it's all up to Vivy to figure things out. I'm really liking her as the main character, and I wonder what emotional finale we'll get next week. Alright, so for Tokyo Revengers, episode 10. So yeah, the gang fight continues. But then, Draken got stabbed, so we gotta save him. He's still alive, so there's still some hope. So then, funny thing, instead of calling the hospital, calling the ambulance to come through to the gang fight, Takemichi tries to bring Draken somewhere safer. So we see him carrying this, like, huge 200-pound Draken on the streets, trying to, like, go to, like, an empty place to call a hospital. I have some problems with the scene, though. It seems Draken is still bleeding out, so I hope they covered up his wound. But yeah, ignoring all of those things, yeah, Takemichi's dragging Draken's ass to the hospital. Emma and Hinata are there, so they called the hospital, they called the ambulance to come through. So yeah, everything's looking okay so far. But then Kiyomasa and his boys come through. He kind of runs into them at the worst moment, and then they're on the same block. Yeah, there's nowhere to run, or else like you'll just abandon Draken. So then they're trying to finish the job. And then, Draken tells Takemichi to run, but then Takemichi's like, bro, I was running my whole life. If I run now, nothing will change. So then Takemichi challenges Kiyomasa to a fight. It's Kiyomasa and his boys, so there's literally 6 people here versus Takemichi. So even if you beat Kiyomasa, this gang fight isn't over. But yeah, he still rises up and fights him. So yeah, there's a lot of tension because Kiyomasa is a lot bigger than him, and Takamichi here has shown nothing on like his fighting skills. So it'll probably be a wash. But yeah, that's where the tension comes in. We're rooting for the little guy. So yeah, Takamichi starts off with a punch, but he gets stabbed in the hand by Kiyomasa, so he's playing dirty. So then yeah, the dynamic of the fight changes because it's like an execution. But then Takamichi doesn't give up yet. He pulls out the knife. He doesn't use it though, he throws it up to the side. And then he grabs onto Kiyomasa and bites him. So then Kiyomasa's trying to knee him and punch him in the back, but then yeah, Takamichi's just like holding onto him and biting him. And after that, he puts him into sleeper hold. So good shit, Takamichi. Like, he did the best thing you can do to subdue a guy bigger than you. Just, like, go on his back and choke him out. But, you can't really celebrate now because there's 5 more guys out here that want to kill him. So he gets his revenge on Kiyomasa. He doesn't run away. But then he's just stabbed in the hand. He's kind of tired from this fight. So, how are you going to take on 5 more guys? Akun and the boys come to help. So, Draken and Takamichi, they were kind of accepting their death over here while his squad comes in. So then they're fighting. They're obviously a bit weaker than them, so they get beaten up. But their whole goal isn't to win. It's kind of to distract them. So then once they buy enough time, we hear sirens. So hopefully that's the ambulance coming in. So yeah, once that happens, like, I guess everyone will run away. But yeah, we see what the story's going for. These fights so far with Takamichi and his friends. They're not strong enough to fight, but they realize that they can stand their ground and help their friends. And then, that'll, like, make a better future for everyone. These episodes feel so short because, there's, like, so much content left to get through, like, this whole gang fight and everything. And then, what comes next. So then, yeah, a lot of brutal action. Takamichi just stabbed in the hand. Draken still stabbed in the stomach. I don't think anyone stopped the bleeding, but he's still, like, standing and alive. So, hopefully they get into the hospital in time. And then, we also see Mikey fighting with Hanma. So they still got to settle things there. Okay, so for 86, episode 10. Alright, cool episode. We see the kids, like the last 5 survivors of the Spearhead group. They're just chilling in the wilderness, going fishing, camping, just surviving. So they're still not dead. And, this is a pretty good thing. It's just like, nice to see kind of like some closure for them. Like, they might die soon, but it's been 2 weeks so far. So they're still like going strong. We see that there's 576 of them dead so far. That's how many the Reaper like counted. And then next they travel to the Old Kingdom. It was the Kingdom of Giad. So I think that's like the place where all the legions originated from. So it's kind of like a wreck now, but they're just like going to salvage stuff, just like going around. So I'm really liking the post-apocalyptic survival theme we have here. And then yeah, anyway, they're being accompanied by that big dog Fido. It's like a robot dog that follows Shin around. So he seems to be kind of like a support unit for everyone. We see his origin where Shin kind of saved him because there are a lot of like empty robots around them, and then the dog was kind of like lonely by himself, so he just follows Shin. And he seems to be smart, and he has a camera attached to them. So that camera plays an important part that we'll see later. So then after that, they kind of salvage a boiler, and they use it to kind of take hot baths. And then we see all like the characters kind of like enjoying themselves. And then yeah, while they're all chilling, they kind of like talk like, where do we go next? Well, they're kind of aiming to find a safe place with no legions. So, maybe go the opposite way of the legions and find like a safer country with survivors. So that's a pretty cool plan to have next, but, it requires a lot of luck and survival, so I wonder if it'll succeed. But then, yeah, the big thing here is that we see that dog robot Fido, that camera it has, it recorded all of their activities and interactions. So we see all of the 86ers, the Spearhead group. We see the people that died, they're kind of like, moments that they were enjoying talking to each other. Yeah, just like a whole kind of ending sequence. It was very long where we see like the robot Fido showing their recorded activities and interactions. So, very well done kind of a montage of these moments. It really solidifies the kind of sadness we have where we miss all of these characters that we met for like a few episodes. So yeah, cool episode. The whole episode was basically the remaining members of our Spearhead group just like, surviving in the wilderness, seeing what they'll do next. And then after that, though, at the end, we see there's a lot of fire around Fido as he blows up. So the recording dog blows up. I don't know if they got attacked or something, but yeah, these cliffhangers are like so infuriating. I just want to see what happens next. I want to know if these kids survive or not. Shin got closure, so he doesn't really have anything else to do anymore. And then we didn't really see Lena at all this episode, so I'm curious to see what she's doing as well. Okay, so for Shadow's House episode 10, kind of fun episode, but also very, very creepy and like kind of sad episode as well. So yeah, we get some big reveals, but then yeah, we still continue on the selection of the dolls, the competition. So yeah, Emilico, she saves Kate. They land on the cart. She kind of cuts her face up a bit and then hurts her legs, but then they just like wipe it off. They go in the river and kind of like clean everything up. The issue is though, they only have a few minutes left, like 10 minutes, and they're kind of far away. So what do? They bring the cart water slide. So they just like take the cart, they turn it into a boat, and slide down this river and just like zoom into the exit. So then yeah, they succeed. They finally win the selection. The issue is the rum fails. And her Shadow Master Shirley just dissolves. So goddamn, Rum failed the trial? That was so sad. She was so capable, but she was just like too slow. And her Shadow Master didn't really help her out. So then yeah, Shirley dissolves. Her last words were Rum, so she kind of acknowledges her. But yeah, it was so sad seeing her die. Anyway, after that, we kind of see like the celebration with all the kids. They're kind of in the child house. So yeah, there's a lot of them that succeeded the trial. So it's them and their Shadow Masters just like chilling, celebrating. They drink some coffee as well. It's a really bitter coffee, so yeah. We also see that all the other shadows are really cruel because they're like laughing at Shirley for failing. So yeah, that's pretty sad. Anyway, after that we see the grandpa shows up and then all the dolls are kind of like obedient to him. Their eyes are kind of like distorted. So when you drink the coffee, it has the grandpa's like shadow dust in it. If you basically drink that, you're basically obedient to the grandpa and you kind of like lose your memories. So yeah, these dolls are getting drugged up. But for what reason? Well, we find out like the origin of these shadow people. So basically shadows are parasites. And they kind of copy their environment. And then they can just like turn into like kind of a human person. The thing is, yeah, they have no features. So their end goal is to basically merge with their doll. And basically they can finally like inherit the doll's face and become like a person better than a human being. So these dolls' only purpose is to help these like shadow parasites turn into real people and then like become better than people. So yeah, that's pretty grim because they're just parasites. They're like bugs. But yeah, it's very suspicious seeing the end goal. Basically, our dolls that we see have the most personality. They're so likable and fun. Yeah, they're just being obedient to the grandpa. They're gonna get stripped of their free will and just like become a tool to be merged with the shadow. So yeah, Kate kind of wants to fight against the system. She wants to save everyone. She doesn't really know the full deal yet. And then Edward wants to like kind of like find out and kick her out of the house. So yeah, we end the episode there on a big ass reveal. So basically, yeah, these shadows are parasites that want to merge with these dolls. We still don't know the whole origin of the dolls, if they were created by the grandpa or not. We also know that like shadows have different types of powers with their soot. So I'm interested to see how things go next. But basically, yeah, it shows how Shirley, she wasn't really fully developed as a parasite. So she couldn't mimic humans properly. She didn't have any, like, personality. And we also see that Rum, they're gonna use the poison coffee to remove her memories and, like, restart her again as another person's doll. So we kind of get a Promised Neverland vibe over here where, like, the kids are trying to fight back against the adults. So yeah, goddamn. A lot of, like, huge morality issues here. We don't know who's right or wrong, but I guess we're cheering for Kate and Emilico to kind of save everyone, try to destroy this whole system. Alright, so for Fruits Basket, the final, episode 10. Cool episode. Toru's still in the hospital. We see all the girls trying to go see her. Her friends Saki and Uo. So then, yeah, they see her in the hospital. They also see Akito. And then Uo, the blonde-haired girl, she kind of like, she sees why she lost Kureno to Akito. Mainly because, Kureno was hanging out with her, like, since childhood. But then, yeah, she might have a chance now because she sees him in the hospital. And then Uo and Kureno, they kind of, like, reconnect. So if Kureno, like, runs away somewhere, tries to, like, go away from Akito because she doesn't want to see him anymore, then Uo will follow. So maybe this is, like, a good start of their relationship. Just get stabbed and then your whole life begins anew. But then, yeah, besides that, we see Kyo. He didn't visit her in the hospital yet. He was kind of shutting himself in his room. He felt guilty on everything that happened. Rejecting her at first and then her falling off a whole cliff. But then, yeah, after that, Kyo, he gets convinced by Yuki to basically visit his dad. So then Kyo visits his dad, and then he kind of realizes that his dad is the source of all the abuse. Like, his mom didn't blame him. Like, Kyo's mom committed suicide, and his dad kind of convinced Kyo that it was his fault. The issue is here, it's like, clearly the dad's fault, everything. The dad kind of, like, pressured the mom, told her that, oh, it's all your fault for giving birth to the cat. You know, everything is your fault. And then he guilted the mom every day that she couldn't handle it and killed herself. So it was kind of out of character for her to, like, abandon him like this, because the fact that she killed herself made his life kind of infinitely worse since there was no one supporting him. But yeah, anyway, I guess you could chalk it up to the abuse being stronger than your love for your child. So then, yeah, Kyo kind of talks to his dad, and then his dad, like, realizes that he's a shitty person, but he's still, like, angry inside. He wants Akito to take Kyo back to the cat house, but then Akito says that she doesn't want to take him anymore. So then, yeah, we see that Kyo and Akito, their relationship is kind of, like, fixed now, so there's no bet going on anymore. And at the end, we see Kyo visiting Toru in the hospital. So, you know, kind of awkward at first, so Toru runs away, and then he chases after her. So everything's back to normal again. Toru's alright, Akito's alright, and then Kyo kind of, like, revisits his past and confronts it, and he doesn't feel guilty anymore. Alright, so for I Killed Slimes for 300 Years and maxed out my level, episode 10. So we meet this girl, Cuckoo. She's this bunny girl, half bunny, half girl, and then she's doing a solo rock band. So then, yeah, she's, like, singing death metal, basically, and then her music is, like, kind of loud and obnoxious that everyone kind of, like, runs away. So she's just kind of, like, failing. Her music is not doing well, and then she's, like, starving. So yeah, starving artist Cuckoo. And then Asusa kind of saves her. So yeah, this new girl joins the squad. Basically Flat Torte as well, she's a big music stan. She tells Cuckoo to basically change her music style, because Cuckoo's, like, playing death metal, basically because, like, she likes it, but it's basically because Cuckoo doesn't want to do mainstream things. She doesn't want to do things that are popular, like, you know, happy, upbeat type of music. So then Flat Torte convinces her to kind of change up her style. It's kind of like an idol episode so far now, because we see all the girls singing, like, their songs. Cuckoo sees this and realizes that, oh yeah, I can change up my music. Like, I can incorporate all of your things into it. Also, I'm singing about death, and then I didn't really actually die, so I can't really relate to that. Because, like, the ghost girl can sing about death, and she actually died, so those emotions are real. So a lot of, like, cool kind of, like, fourth wall breaking, like, real life music advice over here. We see that Cuckoo changes her style. Beelzebub actually finds out, and then invites her to a big music festival. So yeah, she plays her song Thank You. And then she becomes a big hit. She goes on tours and stuff, plays in front of big audiences, and then, yeah, she also joins the squad in their house. So yeah, cool, nice episode. Basically a new character we meet. I love the jokes, the fourth wall breaking, everything. And then, you know, the music over here was also great. So, you know, cool, wholesome, nice episode of Slime. Alright, and now for Ijiranaide, Nagatoro-san, episode 10. So, you know, we're kind of reaching the finale, and we get kind of like a big kind of obstacle in our slice of life story, where the club is gonna get shut down. But before that, we do some running practice, Senpai and Nagatoro. Nagatoro has her, like, kind of sexy running outfit on. We see her tan lines. Senpai kind of feels guilty staring at her, so he tries to run faster. And then Nagatoro also motivates him by, like, making fun of him. So yeah, they finish running. They stretch out together as well. Some physical contact with them. It looks like they're doing the fusion dance, and then, yeah, pretty funny. But yeah, here's where the serious part comes in. So yeah, Nagatoro's modeling for the senpai. She's wearing her cat battle outfit on. But then the president of the art club comes in. They were studying for, like, you know, art exams coming up, because they're about to graduate. So that's why they kind of left the club to senpai. But then, yeah, the president comes in. She looked this big, tall girl, big opai, and then she wants to shut down the club because she's been hearing rumors that, like, oh yeah, there's some, like, bad people in the club. And yeah, that's basically Nagatoro and her squad. So then, yeah, like, he's still focusing on her art, but she thinks he's not taking it seriously. So that's why she wants to shut down the club. Senpai really can't really say anything, but then Nagatoro comes in. She fights with the president. She says he's taking it seriously. And then, yeah, she kind of sees this, so they decide to have a competition. So we can't just have teasing every episode. Now there's actual plot. So there's a school festival coming up, and then they're going to have, like, an art exhibit. So whoever art is better, whoever gets more votes, they They win, and then the club won't get shut down if the senpai wins. A new character, an actual plot in this anime, I cannot believe it, but we finally get it 10 episodes in.